Quick story time, let's problem solve. If this were you, what would you do? And I want your opinion. Good, bad, whatever. I want your opinion. Teenager calls grandparent. Wants her to come and pick her up. Tells her to go look at something at a local shop. So the grandmother does. Teenager decides she wants the item at the shop, but she doesn't have the money. So, kindly, the grandparent puts the item in layaway to hold it. Then teenager decides she wants to go to Sonic and get a Route 44 ocean water. So the grandparent takes her to Sonic and the teenager gets her giant ocean water. Then teenager decides she wants to go to Bath and Body Works. So the grandparent has to take her over there and she goes in for just a few minutes and then she's right back out. This time the grandmother's car is a little bit low on gas, so she figures since she's right by the gas station, she needs to go over there and fill up. And the teenager's like, wait, no, don't pull out yet. Just stay here, just wait. The grandmother looks at her and she waits a few minutes. And she waits a few minutes, waiting on this teenager to say the word go. Now, mind you, the teenager's not polite and kind about this. It's more demanding. And, you're going to do what I say kind of thing. Okay? Finally, after a few minutes, the grandmother's like, look, I've got to go get gas. So she puts the car in reverse. The teenager comes unglued. An argument ensues when the grandmother talks to the teenager about respect for her elders, which doesn't go over well with the teenager. The teenager says the grandmother needs to respect her. But yet, she's not respecting the grandmother. She's not even kind to the grandmother. The grandmother goes and gets the gas at the gas station. She proceeds to take the teenager home. Grandmother tries to talk to the teenager about, you really shouldn't treat people like that. Especially people that are kind to you and do things for you. Teenager lashes out, starts screaming at the grandma. And really, starts screaming at the grandma. Grandma even pulls over on the side of the road at one point and threatens to put the teenager out of the car. It's that bad. It's that bad. Grandmother's still trying to tell the teenager, you shouldn't be so mean and hateful to somebody that tries to do so much for you. Teenager just steady, spouting off and going off on the grandmother. All the way up into the driveway of the house. Grandmother tells the teenager, if you don't stop and start acting right, she's cutting the phone off. She's cutting the phone off. Grandmother pays for this cell phone. Teenager really starts screaming at the grandmother in the driveway, to the point of getting in her face, putting her fingers in her face, and screaming at her to the top of her lungs. And the grandmother's telling her, get in the house, get in the house, go in the house. Teenager finally gets done screaming at the grandma after she videotapes the parts that she wants her parents to see. And as she's getting ready to go into the house, she screams at the grandma one more time, and she throws her Route 44 drink at the grandma's windshield on her car. Grandma goes home immediately, and of course she washes the stuff off her car. And then grandmother proceeds to go online and cut off her cell phone. And then she contacts her mother and tells her she cut off her cell phone, and she will not be cutting it back on this time. She's done. Grandma's done. She's done being treated like that. The mom proceeds to kind of go about telling the grandmother that it's all her fault and that she really shouldn't have done that. And by cutting the teenager's cell phone off, she's basically not even punishing the teenager as much as she's punishing her because she's the one that's now got to deal with the grumpy teenager. Text messages fly halfway through the night of the mom trying to make the grandmother feel bad about cutting off the cell phone. And the mom telling the grandmother that the teenager's already been through so much emotional trauma and that's the last thing she needed was more emotional trauma. So before the night's over, the mom tells the grandma that tomorrow the grandma can meet them at the cell phone place and the mom's going to cut the daughter's phone back on and the mama's even going to get the account that grandma pays for her over in her own name as well. Now, grandma's been telling them they needed to do that for months, so grandma agrees to meet them at the cell phone store. Was grandma wrong, or was the teenager wrong? Or is the mom wrong? Or are all three wrong? So now it's your turn. What's your opinion on the matter? What do you think should have happened, or should have not happened? Let me know. I'm interested.